Okay, welcome to our craft party. So this is the love story craft party. And you guys, this has been like the craziest last 2 hours ever. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you waited around. I know I'm like 10 minutes late, 15 minutes late. And I still can't find my Apple Pencil. I swear. I don't know. And then the printer didn't work. And well, there wasn't electricity, so my husband quick hooked it up somewhere else. And yes, like I said, still can't find my Apple Pencil. So you guys get to see how to do some things in like real life. However, here's the deal, guys, is that a lot of what I was going to show you today anyways is actually in Cricut, because we've done like fun things all week with Procreate. And so now this is going to be Cricut. All right, so you guys are here. You are here for it. Let's see here. Like lots of people I think I saw, I know. And you guys, thanks again for being so patient. So you're just chatting around yourselves. Looks like you're talking about the snow and stuff. It is crazy to me how many people got snow this week. Okay, and you guys are so sweet. You're telling me not to worry about it. And you're chatty. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, you know what? I swear, every party does have something that goes wrong, doesn't it? You guys are chatting. You guys are the best. Oh, and then I had things plugged in, and then I didn't realize that the connection was loose, and so my phone didn't like charge either. So I can't turn all my lights on because they're like connected to my phone here in my like little art room. So yeah, we're just gonna start listing all the things that went wrong today, but we're here. We're here for it. Okay. So you guys, and we're having problems with buffering, it says. All right, let me just check here and see what I can do. All right. Just a second. Okay, so my husband is home, and he is, and he's going to try to figure out if it's lagging for you guys. All right, so this is our craft party all week long. We've been doing the live launch, which has actually been like me trying to like, so every time you do like a big product, like a course or something, you guys have probably seen this. If it's got like a start date, you kind of want to like have it open for a week so people can purchase it. And then you're like, you guys, it's going to start. It's going to start. It's going to start. You got to get in if you want to get in. But I hate like that kind of like pressure and stuff, like putting it on you guys. I know you're all like good with it because you're sweet, but I don't love that. So what I wanted to do is like, well, how can I make this fun for you guys and fun for me? And the way to do that is to just give you more tutorials. And so all week live here on my Well-Crafted Studio channel, I've been doing live love launches videos. And so we have how to draw, if you don't think you can draw, how to make your first sticker, what can you make with Procreate and Cricut. So all of those things I've been doing here on the channel all week. And then Thursday night, I did a big workshop where I invited you guys to kind of to register for it so I could send you out an email ahead of time with the workbook. And so a lot of people did that, but because I did all the other things all week long that were right here on the channel, having that secret link did not seem to be like the coolest thing I did. It confused people. And so because of that, I went ahead and I put the link in the email today too. But yeah, so I mean, like one way or the other, we get things to work and we get to do what we want to do because it's us, right? So that's always a fun thing about like having your own business. You can make things work the way you want it to work. So anyhow, for those that want to join the course, it's open, but that's pretty much the last I'm going to say about it, unless you have questions at the end. All right. And it looks like there are some questions, but I'll answer them at the end. So today, you guys, okay, party, right? So all week long, we've been talking about like, what can you do with Procreate and Cricut? And today I thought I would just show you guys kind of like, how I take some basic designs that I've done in Procreate and turn them into a project in Cricut. But first, like full disclosure, I squirreled. So I was working on this, and then I got distracted by a cousin of mine that like was trying to do something for a charity, and it was a PNG, and she's trying to bring it into Cricut as a PNG and then trace it and turn it into a cut file, or not trace it but turn it into a cut file, and it wasn't working for her. And she's home, today, so I figured she probably wanted to work on it today. And so I'm like, oh, I can do that in seconds. I'll just pull it into Silhouette Studio and I'll trace it and it'll be done. Oh yeah, okay, so an hour later, right? So an hour later, here I am, and then I'm like, oh shoot, my thing's in like an hour, quick. So anyhow, that happens. All right, so it looks like people are still buffering, which is, I don't know what to do about that. Apologize for that. I'm guessing that means there's a lag and stuff. Okay, so I did tell my husband, and I think he's gonna figure it out. Okay, so today what we're gonna do is, we talked about it after the live on Thursday, and I talked about doing candy bar wraps, and then we also talked about like kind of just party supplies. And so what I did is I thought it'd be kind of fun just to show you guys how I take some basic cut shapes from Procreate and turn them into like a garland. So so what I've got is so I guess what I'll do is I'll just show you kind of in Procreate, and then I do have it's like a mini brush set because it's not done yet. So you guys can grab it in the chat. You're still buffering. Okay. All right, I told my husband again. And Cindy's going to blame it on snow. All right, so anyways, this is this little brush that I did. It's got only like 4 things in it. I want to add more things, but I was just doing the basics for what we needed today because, time. So, and then, yeah, printer problems. So we are just going to do what we're going to do, and we're going to make it work. And I'm sorry about the buffering, and I'm sorry about the freezing or whatever. And we're going to do it. We're going to make it work. So, and if I have to do it again another day, I will, because I can. So if it annoys you and it keeps happening, yeah, we'll do it again. Okay, so I guess the most important thing, though, is to tell you guys that in the description, I do have, for this YouTube, I did pop in a giveaway link, and that giveaway link is for today. And that is actually for during the live here, and it's actually going to be 3 of my my like 3 seats in my course, because I want to do that. If you win and you've already gotten the course, what you can do is just tell me, and then I will pick someone else. Or if you're doing the course this time, what I'll do is I'll refund you. If you've already signed up for this launch, I'll refund you the cash on it. So, okay. Should we go ahead and we can go ahead and Procreate? Yeah. All right. Yeah, I wish I knew what happened to my pencil. This is gonna be difficult. Okay. So, first things first. So, we're in Procreate and we have candy bars. We have so many candy bars. I asked my husband for candy bars. He got me a wide variety of candy bars. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come here. We're going to make templates. So templates in Procreate are basically creating a canvas that's the size of whatever you want it to be. Okay. So for instance, this king size Hershey bar is, I would want to make a wrap that kind of still shows kind of a little bit of it. So maybe we say like 5.5, and then when I kind of go around it, you can use like a cloth tape measure. You could unwrap it, I guess, if you wanted to, and just go by the wrapping. But I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it here, so it's like 2 inches, and that's like another 1/2 inch on the side. So we're gonna say 2 + 2 + 1 is 5, and so maybe we'll say 5.5 actually. So do we have 5.5 and 5.5? I think we do. So we're going to come in here to Procreate. We're going to do a little plus. So we're in the gallery. So again, we're going to make a new canvas, and we're going to say what there. We're going to go into inches, So we're going to say 5.5, and then here we're going to say 5.5, and then we're going to tap up here and we're going to say king size Hershey's. Or I guess we could probably just say, like, we could put down how many ounces it is too, because it might be similar to other candy bars that are 2.6 ounces. I'm not really sure. So we'll say create, and then this is the size of what we want. So now what we can do is we can come into, so there's a mini layered, a mini V-Day brush set that I gave you guys earlier this year, or this week. And then I sent it out an email link too. Oh my gosh, it ended at 3 p.m. Eastern time, the giveaway. All right, just a sec. Yes, I can reset it. Okay, so you guys grab the other thing while I reset the giveaway link. All right, we're gonna say edit. I'm talking to myself now. Okay, so 3 p.m. Eastern time is what it had here, huh? Oh, it does. So we're just gonna change it to Central time. And so 3 p.m. Eastern time. And actually, let's go ahead and make that 3:30, because we'll go that long. And then I will say done. And we're going to say, and it should be the same link then. All right, does somebody want to try that and see if it works now? Yeah, I have issues with Eastern time and Central time. Under the pencil, under the Cricut door. You know, because that was my first thought, so I looked there too. And it's like, doesn't help that I have all these white pens. So, I don't really know. It could have just fallen too. I was a flurry of activity in here. Whew. All right, so the link for the giveaway. It's in the description. Oh, and it works now. So the description you have to click on, so Penny, you have to click on the description in YouTube. Maybe somebody can copy it and post it in the chat here. And the dog ate it, probably. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we're gonna go back to my top down. Okay. So we have a canvas that's the size of our candy bar. So now what we can do is we can go to that mini V-Day set and we can kind of play around with it if we want. We can add some stuff, some background, maybe some hearts. We can go to the layers that are overlapping and tap another so that we can go ahead and maybe we want to do a candy bar on a candy bar like that. If we want to then make that kind of white, what we can do is let's go ahead and duplicate it and then tap the first candy bar layer. And where is, oh, white. And you can put continue fill and then it just fills whatever you tap. So, so we got our little candy bar and let's make this a different color. So an easy way to do that is to go to the color you want and then color drop on the lines. Oops. And to get to the lines, you make it bigger. Like so. So there we go. And if we wanted to kind of make the a little bit lighter for part of it, we can do that. And if we want it to be a little bit darker, we can pull it down and we can go like that. So, you know, that's kind of fun right there. In that same brush set, we had some little hearts. So we can do that. Or one thing I did today is this new love quotes that I just gave you guys. I did a little, like I demonstrated it earlier this week. I'm going to do a plus sign. But I did a little bit of I traced this cute little heart or hands that were in, they were in Pixabay. And so I traced it and made it into a stamp. And then we have Your Sweet. And I'll tell you guys how to make your own. And I'll put that in a new layer. And we can just make that smaller now. Like that. And if we wanted to, so this would be kind of fun, is I went to layer 2, which had the white, you know, here, like this layer. I'll show you. So this one, so this is the one that's the colored in candy bar. And what I want to do, so I tapped on that, and I'm going to add another layer on top. And then what I'm just going to do is grab, let's grab a gouache brush maybe, or chalk brush works too. And I'm going to make just some lines because I think that would look cute. Okay, so that's a layer right above that one. And then see how I got kind of messy? So if I tap that layer and say clipping mask, then right away it just clips to whatever shape's underneath it. So that's cool, but it's kind of like, I want it to be a little bit less wah so it doesn't compete with my other stuff here. So I'm just going to dial back the opacity. Okay. Pick me, pick me. Let's see. We'll let you cover the entire link. Jerry tried to put it in the chat. All right, let me just grab it quick because I want you guys all to have a chance there. Direct link, copy. I'll see if I can put it in the chat. I might have all the power. There we go. Okay, yes, me without a pen. I'm doing it, guys. I'm doing it. I told you I wouldn't do it, but I will do it for you. All right, so that's just kind of, you know, it's kind of fun and stuff like that. So that's cute. If I don't want to do like that back, or do the candy bar on the candy bar, what I can just do is I can just go in and now check off those other layers. Maybe I make the heart layer with all the hearts on it, kind of, I tap the end and bring down the opacity a little bit so that's not over the top. So basically, because it's wrapping, you have to kind of imagine that it's going to be this shape right here that we're going to see. So we could play with that just a little bit. Oops, and I got a mark on I got a stray mark there. So what I'm going to do is I circled it, and then I'm just going to pull it off my canvas, and then it's gone. So if you ever, like, okay, so say we wanted to change the color of this layer because we want it to stand out better. What we can do, and this is kind of a quick chip, is we can say alpha lock. And then because it's alpha locked, we can go here and choose a different color. Say we wanted to do in the blue instead. So I chose another color, and I'm going to go back to layer 5, which is the words I want to change. And I'm going to say fill layer. And did you see that? Because really I can make it go any color then, and it's just going to change whatever's on that layer. Oops, I just keep doing the fill layer. But you have to have it on alpha lock first. And then you can do that. It's kind of cool. It's like a nice little trick. So if you're like working and working and working, and then you're like, well, shoot, I need that to be a different color. Rather than color dropping into it, this is a way of changing, you know, the color of the entire layer at once. So it's a neat trick. I like that trick a lot. All right, so we've got our little design here, and it looks cute. But I think what I'd like to do is I'd like to have kind of a border around it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swipe right on everything. Everything, people. So, and then I put group. And so now everything is on one layer. So now I'm going to say duplicate. And I'm going to say flatten. Oh, you know what though? Let's not do that like that. I'm not hit finger tap to undo. All right, so really I just wanted to make the background smaller. I don't want to change the size of what's here. So really all I need to be smaller is this heart layer. So I'm just going to go, actually let's grab another layer, and we're going to pull it underneath here. And then we're going to go and grab a pink and throw it in there. And then we're going to grab another layer, and we're going to grab a white and throw that in there. So now we're going to go ahead and swipe right on those three. So the pink, the white, and the hearts. And we're going to group those. Then when it has the group layer, we'll tap that. And then we're going to go to the arrow. And it's on uniform. So then we can just bring this back a little bit. Okay. And now we're going to go to just the white layer. We're going to bring that a little bit. Wait. Just the white layer, people. White layer. Okay. Let's grab all three of them again. You can do like that. Okay, so that's still going to give us like a white border, and maybe we want the pink to just be all the way to the edge, pretty much. So then we can adjust that. So then we would have pretty big border. So again, we can just keep, playing with this. And if you have snapping and magnetics on, do you see how it keeps kind of moving and snapping? That's because every time I hit the arrow, I have this snapping on. That's toggled on. And that's just going to automatically kind of snap it to where I want it to be. So that is kind of a really, quick way of doing it to give us kind of a nice border, is just to keep shrinking the canvas just a little bit. So yeah. All right. So I did do one. And look, I had a printer problem, another printer problem. Let's count all the ways that this didn't work for Jen today. So basically what I did at this point is I went to the wrench and I said, I wanted to save this as a PDF. So, oops. Let's go back. So I went to wrench, and then there's a PDF under share image. And I said PDF, and I said best. And the reason I did that is because I wanted it, so right now my canvas size was what, 5.5 by 5.5, but I wanted it to print on a full 8.5 by 11 and keep that 5.5 canvas size. And sometimes it gets a little jiggy with it when you're trying to do a smaller canvas. I mean, 9 times out of 10, it's fine. You just have to make sure that you have, when you go to your printer dialog, it says that it's to scale, which is 100%. Otherwise, it's going to try to make it like shape, kind of change the shape a little bit to fill it or to fit it or whatever. So you can just go ahead with your canvas that's 5.5 by 5.5, say save as or print as PNG, and then, just make sure that the scale is correct. And that works for sublimation designs as well. Or you can just go ahead and save it as a PDF, and then it would just center it in the center of your 8.5 by 11, because the PDF download, or the PDF default is 8.5 by 11. So then you save to files, or you can just say print. And so here you can see here where I would select my printer. And then I have this median quality, so I can say feed from, if I wanted to say my main tray or my rear tray, I can select. For this, I'm going to say main tray, because I have thinner paper in that. And then it goes prints. So that's printing from your iPad, and it works really well. So yes, Deborah, you can use a PNG to print. A PNG is just an image like anything else. And so it totally works that way. But the PDF is just kind of like the cheat to make sure that it works. All right, we're just gonna say cancel right now. So now the thing with the PDF print is it's just gonna print it like just as it is, and then I'm gonna have to go in and cut it. If you wanted it to save it to if you want to cut this perfectly in Cricut, then what you would want to save it as a PNG with that transparent background, so the background turned off. And then you bring it into Cricut Design Space. I mean, I guess you could, for this, you could have it turned on, the background on. You don't have to have a transparent. But yeah. Okay, so we're trying this. And so part of the thing with Procreate and Cricut is that you might have to do tweaking. So, I might have mismeasured this. Maybe I wanted to put like a target in there or something. Or, I could have put a little like rectangle that's the size of my center, and use that as kind of a frame if I wanted to. Where's my candy bar? But you guys can kind of see how cute that would be, right? So this was actually 5 and 5.5. So I think the 6 would have been nice because it gives us a little bit more overlap in the back. But yeah, you guys can kind of see how that works. You know, we could have done the same thing, made a sleeve for our M&Ms. And we could have done something cute there, clever. So there's all kinds of different like kind of options for that. So this is just a wrap, like a basic wrap, but there are also there's ways of creating a wrap where it actually like you glue the ends and so it looks like it's actually a bag. You can do that. There's all kinds of things. So yeah, I mean, how quick was that and how simple and how cute. So that, I mean, and you can personalize it because we have the power. So you can go ahead and add somebody's name to it. You know, you could do this for lunchbox snacks for your kids or grandkids if you want. Just go ahead and throw something on there and have it, you know, be something cute and personalized. Maybe put a joke on it. I remember my son just loved Valentine's Day jokes when he was a kid. Well, he loved any kind of silly joke. So super fun. Jerry said it looks super easy when I do it. It's true. I do make things easy, but I did get into a little bit of, there's a little advanced stuff there that you didn't need to know how to do. Like I just showed you how to use the alpha lock to change the color. You didn't need to know that. You could have just created a new layer with a different color and done the stamp again. But, you know, I like the tricks. I think the tricks are fun. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys a heart garland. All right, so this is going to be a good one because it's going to show you how easy it is to take a shape that you've created, like even a stamped shape in Procreate and turn it into a cut shape. Oh, so Jerry asked what the alpha lock does. So alpha lock is basically it locks whatever's on the layer. So if you think about, if I was to go ahead and say, you guys are gonna like this sticker. Somebody gave it to me. It says, "Who rules the world, scrolls." Okay, so imagine that this eraser, or you know, maybe imagine this is your clear layer. So your background that's now clear, and you have your PNG. All right, so this is the clear layer. So you put your like whatever you put on it, your drawing is on top of that layer. So this is one layer. So alpha lock. So if I went to throw like if I went and color dropped onto this, it would fill the entire layer, right? That's what it would do. But if I have alpha lock on, whatever's on the layer is the only thing it sees, and so it's only going to fill that thing, just this. And same thing with clipping masks. If I was to go ahead and throw, do a bunch of scribbling, and then put the clipping mask on, instead of going all over this, it would automatically just go to whatever's on the layer behind it, or whatever's on that layer. So that's just kind of a quick visual, I guess. And I don't know how helpful that is, but yeah, the squirrel's cute. And I have lots of experience, and that's just because I love this. It's a lot of fun. There's always more to learn too. I haven't gotten back to all my emails yet, but somebody asked me a question about masks in my email, and I was like, I would love to have the answer of how masks work, but masks are kind of difficult for me. First of all, I mean, I can get them to work. There's a masking feature in Layers in Procreate. I should say that first. I can get it to work, but I haven't found a really good reason to use it to work. So some of these things, it's like, you don't need to know everything. You just need to know enough to do what you want to do, right? So, all right. So we're going to actually go back to Procreate quick, and I'm going to show you guys a couple things, and then we're going to go and bring it into Cricut Design Space. Cool. Okay. Top down. Okay, it's stuck. All right, so if we were going to do, say, something like a garland, we could just take, we can take any size canvas. A lot of times I am working, kind of square because it works for me. So I have a square canvas that's 8x8 and 300 dpi. So I kind of know in my brain that I'm going to want to make my garland images probably like 4x4 or something. So no bigger than 6x6. So I could just do 6x6. I could do 8.5x11 if I wanted to, but I'm just going to do a 6x or an 8x8. So there I have it. Now I'm going to go into that V-Day set that we got earlier this week. And I'm going to take that little love letter. We're going to make sure it's black, or a color we can see here. I'm going to tap that. 2-finger tap to undo. Going to make it bigger. Oh, it's not big enough. All right, this is another trick, you guys. So you can tap that, stamp, and that brings you into this brush studio. And I know it's probably happened to you guys a lot where you're like, what the heck? It just does it. But if you go to properties, so say you're using a brush and it's not big enough, go to properties and then you can see brush behavior and maximum size. So that means that this is not the maximum size it can be. So I had a little room here, so I'm gonna make it bigger. And then I'm gonna go and say done and then see if it's big enough. So that is big enough. So now what I can do is go to that and I can say about this brush and say create new reset, say save. And then did you notice how it's like showing up really like big now? Once I adjusted it, I'm going to go to this preview size and I'm going to just bring that down a little bit. Done, and there it is. So the brush is now bigger. Oh, it is cutting off the bottom of my iPad. Thanks, Kathy. All right, well, I did not do anything on the bottom of my iPad at that point, so, but I'm glad you mentioned that. So, okay, so now we have this like this, and I'm just going to put it in the center. And then, so I have my basic drawing that I did, and I like it. I think it looks pretty cool, just like this. So maybe what I want to do is, you know, I can just send it to Procreate, just like or to Cricut, just like this. And I can use like contour and offset to go ahead and tweak this design. Or if I wanted to, I could go and swipe left and say duplicate. Let's turn this off. And then maybe I go ahead and take, let's see, let's just do a light blue and drop that in. And let's, oh wait, you know what? We want to go to the one below. So we're going to undo that and we're going to go just drop it and it says continue. We're just going to tap and then we'll tap the lines. Oh, that's weird. Did you see how it turned it white? And it was blue before? So there we've got kind of a basic shape. We still have our design that goes right over the top. So it's pretty, you know, it's pretty cool. So we've got two different shapes to it. Maybe we want to go ahead and add a heart shape. So we have this heart and we can go ahead and tap right on it. Oops, do we have a new layer? God, I remember those new layers. Those are the best. So we have our cute little heart design, and maybe we want to make the heart just a little bit bigger, or have a background to it. What we can do is swipe left and duplicate it, and then we can just go ahead and make it a little bit bigger if we wanted. Oh, let's turn this one a different color so you can see it. So we can go ahead and just make it a little bit bigger, but do you see how just making it bigger isn't a true offset? You can use freeform and kind of make it just a little bit better, but it's still not a great offset. So there's a trick for getting an offset in Procreate using Gaussian blur that I show you in my how to make sticker backgrounds super quick. But for right now, I'm just gonna I have offset in Cricut Design Space, right? And it's a great offset. So I'm just gonna not even try it here. So I have my basic design like so. It's looking cute, but you know I might want to use another like bigger heart. So I'm going to create a new layer. So I'm creating a garland. So I'm going to go here and I have it again. I'm going to make it big. I'm going to make it kind of the size I want. And there we go. We got another garland, or another element to our garland. So now all of a sudden we've got 4 different elements. So some different sized hearts. I guess I'm not going to do that one. So we have a heart. It's just a plain shape. We have an outline of our envelope and we have our envelope. So what we can do at this point is we can say go to the wrench. Oh, you know what else I want to do? I want to go ahead and do, of my new love quotes, maybe I put love you more. And I'm going to change the color of that again. The colors don't actually matter here unless you're going to do print and cut, which is an option. So I'll show you that in a minute. But I'm just trying to go more for the size and trying to do different layers. Now, see how everything's just stacked like this? Penny asked if we couldn't just make it bigger with selection. You can, except the problem with that is that when you make things bigger, sometimes they pick, like, so basically what happens is you have something this size, and in order to get it bigger, your program is trying to guess how to fill in the pixels. So I have something this big, and I want to make it this big, and what happens, and it's like, well, we don't know how to fill in those pixels. So basically it looks at this and tries to guess and starts filling in squares to make it look bigger. And so that's how you often get that pixelated look, because it's just not quite sure what to do here. It's just expanding and it doesn't really know. And so there are different settings in Procreate that will help. If you do some expansion, it'll help those pixels kind of guess better. And it's actually, let's see here. So it's under the arrow. So I have it set at bicubic. And so that means it's just looking at the cubes or the pixels like pretty much close to whatever is right around it. You can chop that and you can change it to bilinear or nearest neighbor. And so it takes bigger samples, I guess. So I think nearest neighbor is the closest, and then bicubic maybe, I'm not sure. But every time it tries to guess, you can give it different ways of guessing, but it's still gonna eventually have issues. So the better idea for the brushes, if you're gonna just do something like this, is to go ahead and just make it bigger in the brush studio, and then you're good. There are also programs out there that will resize things without losing as much loss. And so, like images, I'm not super familiar with those. Somebody told me about them. They're resizing tools. Okay, so this is where we kind of get, but look at that. I did everything like, I did that love on the wrong layer. Oh, but I'm going to change it color so I can see it. Change color. And then maybe we want to go ahead and do that another layer. And then we have our little love thing there, our love hands. Put that there. And so we have a whole bunch of stuff going on. Okay, well, oh, wait a minute here though, guys. Check this out. Do you see how you can see through this? That is not supposed to happen. You should not be able to see through that stamp. So I'm going to go ahead to fix that for you guys. So I will do that, because what that means is that when I did this stamp, that I was not on black. I don't think. Let me check here. Let me go to, so I thought I was in black, but anytime you do a gray for tone at all for a stamp, it ends up reading as a lesser opacity, which is kind of interesting. So I'll fix that for you guys in a bit. But it really doesn't really matter a ton. All right, so let's go back here though. Like if you bring it into Cricut Design Space as it was, it actually still copies it just fine. So we can do that. Okay, so we've got our design. Yep, that was mine. And when Cricut brings it in if we do it as a cut file, then it actually does basically trace it. So then it can go bigger and smaller without losing any image or loss. Jerry says I make complicated things simple. Oops, I hope so. Oh, I don't know what happened there. All right. So me front facing, that's what I want, is my front facing camera. I'm about ready to break into some of this candy here too. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into Cricut Design Space now, and I'm just gonna basically show you kind of a couple ways to go ahead and use some simple thing like this as part of a garland. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put you on screen share here. But that was a good question, Penny. I feel like a lot of this stuff that I'm explaining to you guys, as far as like the pixels and different things like that, it was really, even just like the idea of a PNG file, I had no clue what that was. When I started, I didn't know what SVG was either. So trying to understand the difference between like the PNG and photo quality and stuff like that, and then SVGs, I feel like it can be difficult, but you can just kind of make it simple too. And so I try to do that for you guys. Because we don't need to know it all. We don't really need to understand everything. We just need to know enough that we can do what we want to do, right? Okay. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to go into Cricut Design Space. I'll make sure I have that up. And let's see, where's my key? Let's see. Show Cricut Design Space. And so there we go. Oh, that thing done. All right, and I'm going to make a new window actually, so I can show you how to do this. Okay, so we're going to start out, we're going to say new project. And then we're just going to go to upload on the side here. And we can just go ahead and also show you guys. So it brings this here. So we have our images. Oh, and did I tell you? So you want to import them with a transparent background, which just means as a PNG, which means you just want to click off that background layer. There's a check mark there, and that hides it. And that's when you get that black background. So we're just going to say we want to do, let's do the envelope. So I'm just going to drag it here and then say continue. And then it's already got the transparent background. And then I can say flat graphic. Or I could have done single layer actually. But if I bring it in as a print and cut, then it gives me some options. So I basically brought this in. You can see over here on the right that it's a print and cut. Now for a garland, I want it to probably be like, I don't know, 4 inches or something. So I'll make it smaller, but here I'll make my screen bigger so you can see it. Okay, so now this is kind of a fun trick. So I have this, it's a print and cut design, but if I wanted to take it and make it into a cut design, I can just come up here to operation and say basic. And now it is a cut design. So there is nothing that's going to print, it's just going to cut this out for me. If I wanted to go ahead and make this a solid shape, you know, because we did that solid shape, but maybe we can just do the solid shape here. So what we do now is we come to contour and we just choose the stuff that we don't want. And now we have a solid shape that can go behind it. Let's say we want that to be kind of a, let's go back to blue. Maybe we make that kind of a lighter color. It doesn't really matter what color it is if it's going to be cut, you know, because it's going to be the color of the paper. Oops, but you guys can see here now, we've got 2 pieces of cut designs that stack that are really great, you know, and it's fun. But what I like to do is I like to layer things. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to duplicate this maybe and pull it over here just so I have this. And then here I'm just going to say offset. I'm going to adjust my offset just a wee bit. You can kind of see it in real time. A little bit more. There you go. I'll say apply. That creates a whole new basic cut layer. And I'm going to make that one white maybe. So now what I have here is I have 3 layers. Now, you might not want 3 layers. In which case, what you can do is you can at any point in time, you could take any one of these. So maybe these. Let's go ahead and do like, we're going to duplicate, group them, and then duplicate. So now, okay, so I have, so a lot of times when we have something that's print and cut, we bring it in, it has some detail to it. So I guess better example than this is to show you with love letters or with this stamp. Yes, Cricut, take your time. We're not waiting. But that contour trick is a really nice trick for giving you a solid shape, especially if you're doing offsets. All right, let's cancel this. And then let's go back again. Try it. I'm impatient. It's not doing what I want. Can I stop it? Oh, there it is. All right, so this. We will say, yes, please. So this is actually a really good trick I'm going to show you guys. When you're doing print and cut, or cut versus print and cut, sometimes I like to cut like every individual letter because I think it looks cool. But if I'm going to do something raised up, it gets kind of like tedious to like, for me anyways, I get like frustrated or it gets annoying, I guess. So to go ahead and like glue every single letter because I cut them out individually. So what I like to do, I'm going to change the color of this. Oh, you know what? It's not going to let me do that right now. So we're going to go ahead and turn this to basic because then we can change the color of it. So there, it's a pretty blue. And now we're going to go ahead and go to offset. We're going to make a cool offset. Like that, probably. And we're going to make that up here, we're going to make it white. Okay, now I'm just going to go ahead here and select both of these. So if you look here, if I was to do this, it would cut each letter individually for basic cut. And then, but this, they're connected. And so this is the trick. So we go here and we're going to get rid of those little things again that we don't want showing up in there. Then we're going to select both of these and we're going to come to align and say center, like so. And then we're going to select them both again. And now we're going to do flatten. It's down in the corner here, if you guys can see that. So there's flatten. And what we just did there is we made this a print and cut, but we changed the color, which is cool because we went to basic cut first and then we did the offset and then we went ahead and flattened it. So we gave ourselves a border and made it a colored print and cut. So the nice thing here is that we can go at any point in time and unflatten it if we'd like. So that's just kind of a little trip as far as kind of how you can kind of work with that a little bit. And then if I still want that cool layered effect, I can go to offset again. And then I can go ahead and make it a little bit bigger. And I can say apply. And maybe I'm going to use some pink paper for that. But now the only thing is I have to make sure that I go up here and turn this to basic again. Because I want to cut that part of it. So I want this to stack on here, but I want it to be cut. Oh, and there's a weird little thing there. Do we care? Yeah, let's go ahead and again contour that. So there's that one little piece. We click it, and now it's gone. So you can kind of see how that looks. And knowing that I was actually probably going to turn this into a garland, I probably would have done a bigger background, like a bigger offset, just to give me room to punch my holes. So I would probably put a hole here and a hole here sort of thing, or here and here. I'm not going to punch holes because I'm not quite sure where I do want to put the holes. But I'm thinking like holes here and here. So you can do that. I mean, there's just all kinds of different options for how to do things in Procreate or in Cricut Design Space and kind of tweak them with your Procreate designs, going back and forth between basic cut and print and cut. The only big thing I have here is that once you go to make it, because you were kind of going back and forth, we'll say, I'm just saying a V garland. I'm not saving this. I just want to show you guys. So now the biggest thing is that when you come to this one, you want to double check here because you could have some like offset be a print and cut when it's really supposed to be just a basic cut. So you can look here at all of these and just see what it's telling you, and that will give you a clue if you need to cancel and go back and then change one of your operations. So that's just the way of doing it. I would always, after I've made sure that I have everything correct, I would make sure and save it, because then, you know, if I open it at any point in time, I can still go ahead and use it. So we have, oops, where is it? I'll say, oops, that's no available windows. Where did that other window? Oops, you don't want to get that. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so this is the one that I was working on just now. So make sure that this is connected. Okay, and then here's my print and cut size. And so I've already printed this. And it knows that. It's trying to connect my maker. Okay, and now it's going to ask me what my material is. I'm going to do heavy cardstock, and I'll just do more pressure just because. I'll say material settings, and then it's telling me that I want to use a fine tip blade. I mean, you guys probably have it from here, but I'm still going to just show you quick because we're doing a craft party. Let's see here. Oh, Michelle says, how do you get a transparent background? Yep, so what you do is you go to the very bottom layer in your layers panel is it says background, and there's a little check mark on that layer, and you just uncheck it, and that makes your background transparent, and then you go and you save as a PNG. Oh, and Jerry said that too. Yes, you save as a PNG, and then that keeps that background. If you save as a JPEG, it's just going to automatically put a flat white background behind it. That's what it does. That's the big difference. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go back to top down. So here I have my design. So this was a flattened because it's a print and cut. I'm just going to throw it on here, line it up like so. Use my brayer. Okay. And then push go. Okay, so as that's cutting, I'll just talk to you guys for a second. So part of what we did this week for Love Light was we made these stickers. And so for this, it's really fun because I showed you guys how to take a basic, just the heart shape, and then kind of give it some dimension. And then we added some kind of fun words to it. But we worked a little bit with texture and different brushes, which I think was fun. Oh, and Linda thought it was Central Time. Hi, Linda. Yeah, sorry about that. I was mixing it up this week really, really well. So a lot of our, yeah, anyways, I won't explain it to everybody. But yeah, I kind of threw some curveballs as far as, time zones this week for some people. But I'm glad you made it. All right, so what I've basically been doing is right now my machine's cutting, but I wanted to kind of show you guys, again, how to take some simple shapes in Procreate and then save them and then pull them into Cricut Design Space to make something cool. So for those that just kind of joined a little late, we made these cool candy bar wrappers already. And these were just a print project. We don't even need to pull them into Cricut Design Space. So we can just create a template the size of our candy bar. And then we just go ahead and print it. So that was fun. I think they're just cute. We have stickers, and these stickers could easily have been turned into tattoos if we wanted to. That's something that's not hard to do at all. As that's cutting, I will also do myself a plug for another video. So I have a video on how to make these cool, I don't know if it's a video, it might be just a blog post. How to make these cool money things. And so there's like a little plastic thing that goes here and you roll up money. So there's like no reason you can't do the same sort of thing, but do a thing of lip gloss there, right? I think, or something like that instead. So it's the same idea of creating a design in Procreate and then just printing it And yeah, I mean, it's great. Okay. Kat C says she thought it was Texas time too. Yeah, you know, I'm actually Minnesota, so I am Central Time. But a lot of the things that I do with my friend Amy, who's in Florida, and so I always just kind of say Eastern Time for things, because I don't know, I do. So right now I've got my Cricut cutting out our first part of it, of a garland that we're doing. Now, just to kind of tell you guys, I mentioned this in the live the other night. Something I learned this week. I was this week year old. How do they say that? Today year old. I learned this week that there's a way of kind of getting like different brightnesses of paper. So, you know, have you ever gotten like paper and you're like, shoot, that's like not nearly as bright as other papers that I've used. It's kind of got like you thought it was white, but it's still kind of got a little bit of gray tone or something. So you can go in and let me check this quick. You can go ahead and there's a brightness number. Let's see, we'll do top down. So when you're doing print and cut, always double check before you unload that it's cut through. Because if it's not cut all the way through, you can go ahead and push the go button again and it'll just repeat the cut. If you try to unload it and then load it again, it will probably not be perfectly aligned, and then that's bad. Okay, so now we're just going to flip this over, peel that off, and we're just going to kind of keep these kind of flat as we undo it. Okay, so I did 2 of these. So you can see, rather than, you know, this is where I was lazy, but rather than try to cut out each individual letter, because I didn't want to do that, I just flattened it. Okay, so then I'm going to go to this one. And this is just cardstock. And over here, I do need to make sure that, so I don't have 8.5 by 11. So I'm gonna have to, and this is why it's good to always save. I'm gonna have to go back, say cancel my cut. I have to go back here and tell it that it's on, I'm using 8.5 by 11 paper. I should have caught that. Okay. So now we're just going to let it do what it's going to do. All right, who's got more questions? Okay, so you guys, so for everybody who's just joined us a little bit late, there are so many things that happened this morning, or the last hour or so. So I do not have lighting. I do not have my Apple Pencil. I have no clue where that one went. So everything we've been doing so far, I've just been using my finger on Procreate. So that's, you know, a good way of showing that it can be done. And then there's also, oh yeah, so, and then my printer wasn't working, like the power was off, and then when I turned it on, I was trying to print everything in 11 by 17. So I got things like this. But yeah, back to the brightness settings. So if you look on Amazon, if you're ordering off Amazon or places, a lot of them will say what the brightness setting is. So brightness setting of 100 is like the biggest brightness setting. I have Like if you look here, this Nima paper, which I think is really a bright looking one, is like 96. So I can show you guys what that looks like. You might not be able to see super well because of the different lighting, you know, issues that I have. I'll show you over on my top down. So this was the one that's the 96, and this is the one that's the white, or the 100. So, I mean, you probably wouldn't have looked at this and thought, oh, that's got a slight tone to it. But when you put it next to this one, and then anytime there's a gloss, that accentuates the light, and so that gloss is going to make it seem whiter too. And this hammer mill cardstock that I got, it's a thin cardstock, you know, comparatively to some, but it's got a coating to it almost. And so it's made to look so it's not going to jam. So it's kind of nice because it's cardstock weight, but still, you know, it has that. Okay. Where did my thing go? So you can kind of already here kind of get the idea of, you know, we can go ahead and stack these like this. And if you wanted to raise part of it up, you could. But that's just kind of a cute little way of doing it. So let's go to our next one. Oops. There's our hearts. We're going to do this one next, I think. I'm not going to cut all of them for you. You don't need to see them all. Okay, so yeah, the whole brightness setting thing, I thought that was kind of a cool find. Because I've wondered before, like, how do you, you know, I just would order ones and hope that they were brighter. And I bought the Astro Bright because I thought, well, you know, that's, you know, a thing. You know, and everyone said, like, I looked in the descriptions and everyone's like, oh, this is really bright. But then I got it and I'm just like, this isn't as bright as I thought. I've noticed that the Cricut ones are a bright white. So when you buy, like, say, Cricut, like the writable like paper, or the Cricut sticker paper is very light or bright. So that I think is kind of a cool thing to know. Okay. What day were the Procreate brushes offered while Crafted Studio? That was on the How to Make a Sticker day, which I think was Wednesday. So if you look here on the channel, and the sticker link is in the description for the video. But I also sent it out in an email on Thursday. What weight cardstock am I using right now? Well, let me tell you. I'm using 80 pound. So it doesn't feel super heavy, but when we're doing the layering that we're doing, that is. As far as the colored cardstock that I'm using, I think that is a little bit thicker, so maybe a 65 pound. Let's see here. Do I have a link for the hammer mill paper? I don't. I found it on Amazon though. And I can get a link later. For sure. Okay, so we're gonna go back here. And this one I wanted to cut out this. Nope, which one? I wanted to cut out one with a heart. Or with the hands. Where's the hands? There's the hands. No, here it is. Okay, just to show you guys this. I'm not gonna cut everything out. But we can chat while we're doing it. Okay. Okay, so who has some questions about Procreate? Gina says she's heard some good things about the new mini iPad. Yeah, I mean, Cricut does come out, or not Cricut, Apple comes out with new iPads, you know, pretty on the regular, and they're always going to be better than the one before, which is why the one before gets a little bit cheaper. And as far as when I tell people, like, they're like, well, what kind of iPad do I need? Usually what I said, you know, for like the last several years is you can use any iPad that uses Procreate or holds Procreate. And to know if your iPad works with Procreate or not, you would go to procreate.com to their FAQs, and I'll tell you which models. So if you have an older model and you're like, well, does it work with Procreate? Then you could do that. But really, almost all of them did at that point still work with Procreate. Now some of the very first iPads aren't compatible anymore. Yes, those are ice cream cones on my shirt. So I mean, if you get if you're really old iPad, you can ask about that, or look into that. But as far as new iPads go, I was always telling people that, you know, get the best when you can, but I like the bigger screen just because for me it was like it's easier to kind of, I don't know, I like to have a bigger screen. But so that mattered to me, and at the time the biggest screen was only on the iPad Pro. Now lately, so mine was a 2018 iPad Pro. I think I upgraded it a few years ago, so like maybe 2021 to I got another iPad Pro. But then this last year, Apple came out with the iPad Air, and then basically made an iPad Air that was this like almost as big as the Pro. And it has it's cheaper. So an iPad Air, I think, is a great the new iPad Air is a great alternative to an iPad Pro, because you don't necessarily need all the computing power that the Pro has. It was just, for me, it was the screen. Oh, I unloaded it before I checked. I thought, oh, it's for sure going to be fine. But this was a thicker paper. Oh, Julie says better late than never. Yeah, we're just sitting here crafting, Julie, so you're looking good here. So I was just showing people kind of so what we did. What iPad do I use? I have the iPad Pro. And then I have but again, if I was to buy a brand new iPad, I would probably get the iPad Air, because again, it's like, you know, cheaper, and it's a good price, or it's a good and they have a bigger one. Barbara says she got the iPad Air. Yeah. So again, with Procreate, I think just the biggest, like, the things to kind of keep in mind is, are you going to be using it for other things other than Procreate? And then also kind of like how much design work are you planning on doing? So I've had, I basically have, I mean, I use my iPad for all kinds of things, and I have 5 years worth of Procreate files on it, and I'm cool. Is there a specific pencil you need to use in Procreate? Procreate is made, I mean, the people who do Procreate are like in love with with Apple. And so they really just like tweaked everything to work really well with the Apple products and the Apple platform and everything. So, so they are made, like, there's things with the Apple Pencil can do in Procreate that other styluses can't do. But that being said, you can go ahead and use other styluses. I think that, again, on Procreate.com, there's a list of different things, or of different Apple Pencil, or different types of styluses that work. Jen's got to go, it says. All right, so you know what? So Jennifer, I'm going to post a picture of the finished product, the garland. But I can show you now. It's going to kind of look like this. Only this is like the mixed tape garland. So, but I think I'm almost done here. So we're just going to keep chatting just a little bit, though. Let's see here. Cardstock. And let's see. Here we go. All right, so Kathy said that she got a new one this year too, which is cool. Yeah, so, you know, it's kind of funny because we talk about how tech doesn't work, and a lot of the hardware works just great. It's the software that's just kind of, you know, fails us more frequently. Like my old Cricut Maker was pretty much is still working today. My original one that I got like 8 or more years ago. But it was having a little bit of an issue, so I panicked and I gave it to my mom, and then she's had no problem with it. So, and as far as the iPad goes, same thing. My 2018 iPad Pro still working great. So, if you guys want to save, a way of saving it is to go ahead and purchase an older model than what's current. It's just, you know, you don't want to go like super old, because then what we have a problem with is the software. So they keep improving the software, and then you can't. At some point, it doesn't become compatible anymore. All right, you guys want to see how this looks together? It's gonna be fun. All right, so I did not put holes in Cricut. I could have, but I did not. So what we're doing is, oh, but I need my I need my hole punch is what I need. Okay, yeah, so Penny made a good point here. The thing with the Apple Pencil or any stylus is that you want it to have pressure sensitivity, which means that when you press harder, then the line gets bigger, as if you were, you know, pressing harder. And if you lift it up, then it gets smaller, as if, you know, just like you would if you were using a regular pencil. All right. So I'm going to put this aside. Again, we didn't cut everything out because, yeah, I didn't want you to have to sit through that. Mary says, if I sign up for the course, are the lives going to be able to preview? Yes, they are. They're actually, what I do is I put them into the course platform. So I upload them as, a replay is going to be available automatically because I do them on YouTube, but it's like unlisted. So only people in the course can see them. So right after it's done, you can see the replay on YouTube, and then you get to see the chat. But then I also take it and I download it and I edit it a little bit, and then I go ahead and put it into the course platform, so that you can, at any point in time, you know, whenever in the future, you'll still have it right there, and you won't depend on it being still on YouTube in case something happens. So basically, you know, we have our night, and then we do, do I want to do it here? Like that. And then I'll take my dots. Actually, let's do our strips. So these are kind of fun. They're actually raised up, but they're strips instead of dots, and you can choose like more than one at a time. So right here I have like the width of 2 of them, and I'm just gonna cut here and probably here, press them down, and then you just have to get that backing off. And I could have just done one. That's probably would have fine. And then I'm gonna go like that. And then I'll take the dots. Can you do a play date on making stamps? You know, I kind of feel like I have one. Because I did one a long time ago. And I think it's even here on YouTube, but with my regular videos. So you might want to double check on that. Okay, so you can see how cute that is. Let's see here. So I didn't cut everything out. So there's another, it's supposed to have like a background of this. thought I cut one of those out, but I guess I didn't. All right, I'll just go like this. Here we are, getting jiggy with it. With this, you just cut like part way. Okay, and then right after this, we'll do the drawing. You know, putting these little raised things up on it, I feel like really makes a difference. What do you guys think? Do you like the raised up parts? So just this week, my friend Sonia, who is in my Procreate membership beta group, she, we did a design, so we did this Scandinavian style that we all kind of struggled with. But anyways, she took the same design that everybody else did, and what she did is she went ahead and created a, she took part of the design and raised it up. And I've done that before in some of my classes. And I think even here on YouTube, I have a, where it's like how to make layered stickers, maybe tutorial. At least I have it on my blog for sure. Just as a blog post. But she went ahead and did that with a card. And it looked so cool. Like just having everything raised up, so it made such a difference. Okay, so we're getting jiggy with it here. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my hole punch, and it punches here and here actually. And so if we had done this in Cricut, then we could have like made sure that it was even, which probably would have been a good idea. Again, I'm playing it fast and loose because, yeah, things did not work out today. So I'll put one there and put a hole here. A lot of times when I'm doing things for you guys too, and you don't realize, like, you know, behind the scenes, there's just a lot of this sort of thing. You know, oh, well, what if this works? Oh, it did not work. Oh, well, what if this works? Nope, nope, that didn't work either. And so, you know, it just kind of happens. Okay, so then, oh, we're going to punch a hole here too. So we have a few different elements here. And I have a couple other garlands too. Like I showed you this one that's in my free library. So I show you, there's actually a video that I linked to in my free library that is this love mix. The giveaways can be done live. I set it up that way this time. So right after this. So basically we're just gonna go and we will tie a knot here. Like so. And then we would tie here. And so any of these like designs that we're doing like this, you can totally use a laser cutter too. That does like the exact same thing sort of as, you know, the Cricut. So say you have a Glowforge, you can bring in your shapes as PNG into Glowforge and then say you wanted to cut it out and it'll do that. And that's really cool. I've done that. So I actually made a Halloween garland that I wanted to do. Okay, then we're going to put this in here. And I was, you know, last minute, so I just did a quick bat shape, and I did a quick ghost shape or something, and then put in the text, and did an offset, and huzzah. So you guys can kind of see how that's going to look. So just really simple, really cute. You know, I would have done probably, I've got some bigger hearts that I probably would add into it too. But you can see how that's just going to be super cute. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so Gina's got an iPad 10th generation. Kathy Gamble, you should rewatch everything. Yeah, so that is a thing with the course is I made it so that everything's in bite-sized chunks basically under different modules. So if you have a question with selection, then you can go to the selection thing and you can go ahead and find just the right video, and you don't have to watch like an hour-long video. You can just watch, a 3 to 5 minute video. So yeah, the glue pen is really nice. I like those a lot. Cat C, do the stickers on your feeding tray ever interfere with the mat going smoothly? No, it doesn't actually at all. Nope. I really like my stickers. But they are printable vinyl, so I can peel them off if I want. Yes, the weeding tool works great for removing things from the background. Yep. Yeah, lots of fun things. Okay, let's see. I'm going to shake the pen to activate it. So you guys like it too. You like the dimension? Yeah, I feel like it just kind of really does like make it just kind of a finished look. Linda, I love watching you not being perfect. Yeah, do you see me I'm just kind of hand waving the rest of it right now. Okay, Judy said she downloaded the workbook you gave us for the workshop and opened it in iBooks. Huh, but no luck downloading the brushes file for the workshop. Yeah, it is just it's a URL. So you have to, the thing with the brushes that you have to have it on Procreate, like an iPad or iPhone that has Procreate, so that you can go ahead and open them. Otherwise, it looks like a blank screen. It's really weird. Is my card posted anywhere? Oh, the one that Sonia did? Yeah, she posted it in the Procreate for Cricut Crafters group. It really did turn out super cute. Yeah, my glue pen is a Zig, and you can get those on Amazon too. I think I have that linked on my Amazon things. Yeah, the tech glitches they were like strong today. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's go ahead and, so you guys have been sticking around for a while, so let's go back and I'm going to do my giveaway. Because I think I said it ended at 3:30. So we will say entrance and winners. Okay. All right, draw winners, 3 winners. And okay, so now I should say on that link who won. Let me look here though, and I will announce it. So we have, let's see, as our winners, we have, does it not say names? Did I just have you put in emails and not your names? All right, I don't want to tell people's emails, but this one starts with 5 Coles. And then there's AIGOOG something. And then Tester Sue something. So I didn't give the full emails. So 5 Coles, AI Google, AI something, and then Tester Sue. Lester Sue? It might be Lester Sue. It's really small writing. So I will do is I'm going to go ahead and email those people. So are any of those people here? So again, it's 5 Coles, and then it might be AL Goo, and then Lester Sue. So those are all winners. Congratulations. Okay, so again, I'll put that. So Kathy says, have you used Procreate SVGs with your Glowforge? Yes, I have, actually. It's really super easy. Again, I just pull it in as a PNG, and then the Glowforge is, it's not exactly the same as Cricut Design Space, but it still does let you do some offsets and things like that. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll bring in, if it's like words, then I will go ahead and create an offset for a backing with acrylic. I can show you guys quick. So this, yeah, congratulations, you guys. I hope they're here because I think that'll be super fun. Okay. let's see here. Go back and I will go top down. And there you go. So you can see that. Oh, I think Sherry Cola was one of the people that had already registered too. So that's cool. So this was, again, it was just a Procreate design. I drew this in Procreate. I put the text in Procreate. And then I just pulled, it's just my, my older logo. And I pulled it in, and then I put an offset behind it so that I could, go ahead and not have to worry about these little tiny pieces. Like being individual, I just stuck them on the background. So I think I won't say that I just like Procreate for the print and cut and the stickers. I mean, I do love stickers, but I also super love, I really love, like, stickers are awesome. Everybody loves stickers, but I really think there's a lot of capability for Procreate with the with the cut files too. And then so a lot of people are just like, well, I'd really like to just make SVGs with Procreate. Well, Procreate is a raster-based, it's like a photo-based sort of like design program, which is different than SVGs, which are vector. And so that is a difference. But what you can do is you can go ahead and take a PNG, and you can go and pull it into Silhouette Studio and trace it and make it into an SVG. Or there's Cute Cutter. There's some other options as far as, just being able to kind of basically upload a design and convert it. The ones that are just like a basic converter don't always convert great. They don't give you options. But for a lot of things that like they will just, it works fine. And then you can save it as an SVG and, Bob's your uncle. Or you can go ahead and do, pull it into something like Silhouette Studio, and you can go in and adjust all the knobs and all the anchors and all the things and do curves and do all kinds of things. And that's, you can do that. It like totally works. Oh, Sherry's congratulations. Yeah, I'm super glad. Okay. Yes. So Sonia said she thinks the love letter envelope would make a great Shrinky Dink magnet. I think we have to do Shrinky Dinks. I do. So Shrinky Dinks are basically you just print on printable Shrinky Dink paper, or not paper, but like plastic. And then, so I had to look to find ones that were printable. Bo, hello, Bo. Yes, if you were one of those names that I called, then you won a seat in my next Procreate Playdate course. So that starts on Monday. So that again, that was the 5 cools, the Algoo, and the Lester Sue. Let's see here. So I'll email you guys, and that will be awesome. Okay, so anyhow, so there's just all kinds of different things that you can do, and it doesn't have to be fancy. You saw how simple this was. Look at how that's just cute, right? Very simple shapes, and the little hearts. It's kind of cute on this side too, actually. Oh wait, that's the side I was supposed to have it on. Haha. And then just very simplistic things. So we can do like you can do all kinds of things like that. As far as the offsets go, you can bring in a simple shape and just do offset after offset. And that's actually how I did this. So you can see here I did it with like a house. I did it with a little deer, and I just created like 4 or 5 different offsets, or 3 different offsets. A very simple fox. So this I like because it was so simple with the white on white. It's another garland. But it's still got a really cool look to it. And you can just see just all those layers. So yeah, so we did the candy bars and we did the garland. And it's been a hot minute here that we've been doing this. So I think that what we're going to do is, and we did our live thing, printable magnets. I did printable magnets for Craft Fest last year. They're really cute. They're affirmation magnets. I'll see if I can find that. But yeah, so they're affirmation magnets, and then they all said things like, you know, something cool like, you know, you go you, or I adulted today, or I left the house today, that sort of thing. Phyllis, yes, this is the same course as I did before. So it's a live course, and it's just going to be like the next 5 weeks. But what I am going to do is, instead of doing it twice a year, I'm going to do it once a year. So this will be it for 2025. And then what I'm going to try to do actually is create one that's doesn't have all the lives. That's just pretty much the videos. And that's going to be, I'm going to try to get that so that can be available other times of the year, so that people who aren't available, you know, at one of those 2 times that I was doing it can still, you know, get the videos and learn. So Sue's excited to be in my class. Oh, I'm so happy too. I'm very excited too. All right. I hope that I find my Apple Pencil too. Man. Yep. Sonia's going to do. Oh, you do. Your cuties need to be a garland. You know, you could take a picture of a cutie and then you can trace it, and then you can make a garland of cuties for your cuties. Haha. Sonia has a lot of cute ones. All right. Sci-fi is going to go. I hope that, thanks for, you know, I see a lot of you guys that have been here all week for these, and so thanks a lot for doing that. If you like this, let me know, and I'll try to do some more just kind of fun little quick ones. Not as long as today's was, but, you know, just kind of quick ones. I think that would be fun. Just because, yeah, I like to see you guys. But the next 5 weeks, pretty much going to be focusing on this. And Cricut Adventure. We're working on Cricut Adventure too. All right. And thank you guys for being here, and I'm glad you liked it. And, and yeah, I'll see you guys here soon, I guess. Oops, I don't know what I did there. Yeah, Penny, basically I'd love anybody who wants to be in the class. I wish you could be in the class. That would be really, I wish I could do that. That would be really cool. I do have, I broke it up into a plan now, so that it's our 4 payment plan, so that it's like more affordable to people. And then I think that when I do the one that doesn't have all the lives in it and stuff, it might be a little bit more affordable than that too. So, because there won't be all the lives and stuff, but I like those. All right. So you guys, I'm glad that you had a fun week, and I will, yeah, my mom, I don't know where my mom is. So she's actually going to be taking the class this time. So yeah, that'll be cool, right? I told her she could do it. And you know what? I know that any one of you can do it too. So even if you get lost, even if I was just like, woo, you can totally, absolutely do Procreate. No matter, anyone can do it for real. I totally believe that. So give me a call, give me a text, and let me know, not a text, I guess. Give me an email if you have questions, and I would love to help. All right. Bye, guys.